Welcome to Toasted Lavender.
We're queer.
We're here, we're queer, and we are drinking beer.
We're definitely drinking beer.
Beer.
Cheers.
Cheers to all of you.
Cheers.
That's good.
We should cheers.
We should all cheers.
Got a great note to start off on. My name's Alex. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm ready to traumatize myself all over again.
This has happened before?
No,
Okay.
but I want to seem like I'm experienced.
Okay. In trauma?
Yeah, in
Okay.
trauma.
That might also be a theme. My name's Lindsay. I use she and her pronouns. And I make the homies say ho and the girlies want to scream.
Oh!
That was a good one. That was really good.
That was good. I wasn't ready for that. I'm Lisa, and I use she and her pronouns. We're here. We're doing it.
I'm Kai. I am here, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm a record store guy.
If you couldn't tell from that sound, we are all drinking beer and recording this podcast.
What are you drinking, Alex?
I am drinking a Mexican lager from New Mexico. It's
Good.
from the Ex Novo Brewery, and it's called the most interesting lager in the world.
That's a good one.
Wow. Is it? Would you agree?
It's exactly what I expected it to be.
Okay, great. So maybe not.
It's fine. It's great. It's just fine.
Lindsay here, drinking Bell's Incessant Double New England IPA that we picked up in Albuquerque because there's no way in hell we would get Bell's in Utah.
Yep.
Lisa, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a New Mexico style IPA.
What does that mean, Lisa?
It means it's an IPA that was brewed in New Mexico.
Okay.
Because I Googled it and Google didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
So. It is from Rio Bravo Brewing in Albuquerque, and it's called Beer Against Humanity. And I'm enjoying the novelty of the beer can looking like a Cards Against Humanity card. So it's a nice little gimmick.
I'm also enjoying that, and if I were them, I feel like it would be a great cop-out.
For sure. It's a regular ass IPA.
Perfect.
Does it taste regular ass?
Yeah.
Pretty regular ass.
Yeah.
I'm Kai, and I am not drinking a wine cooler
Anymore.
anymore. I've now moved on to bigger and better things.
Drink a wine cooler earlier.
But I've moved on to a La Cerveza from Corona, and Alex was kind enough to give me a fresh lime, so things are looking up.
I think it's required. If you
To
drink
have
it.
a
Yeah.
lime with this, absolutely.
That's
think
why I
you'd
picked
go
my beer.
Straight to hell if you.
It's 'cause there was a
drink
lime.
Corona
Straight
without
to
hell.
lime.
Fair enough.
We all decided to start this podcast to talk about queer issues, queer culture, queer things.
Queer selves.
So, I volunteered to take the first subject, and today we are going to talk about your queer root.
I feel like I've been trying to discover my queer root my whole life.
Well, today's the day for you to talk about it. There's a great scene in the movie, But I'm a Cheerleader,
Oh.
where
Has everyone
the
seen
camp counselor...
Yes, we've all seen
Okay,
Thank
we've
God.
all seen it. The camp counselor, RuPaul,
Oh my god, I forgot it's RuPaul.
it's like a group counseling session, and he asks everyone to talk about their queer root, or their gay root.
Yeah.
What's your gay root? And it's in this context of, if we figure out what made you gay, we can resolve that and make you
Ungay.
normal. Like heterosexual. Don't even worry about it. The The irony is that movie is a lot of people's queer root.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is the irony.
Natasha Lyonne.
So it's a real like
Is it Claire
360.
Duvall? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I have an ex, fun fact. She realized she was gay while watching that movie.
Why was she watching that movie if she wasn't already gay? That's what I
How
want
did
to
Okay.
that
know.
happen?
Let's
She was in elementary school and she was watching.
Elementary school? What kind of mother did she have?
Well, you absolutely came out when you were in elementary school, so you.
I
can
wasn't
just-
watching, but I'm a cheerleader,
Well,
though.
there's a scene where RuPaul, his character's name is Mike, asks the campers, "What's your gay root?" And the answers that they give are, one person was born in France.
That's their gay root.
One person's mother got married while wearing pants.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Again, like in this context, we're gonna figure out from these reasons why you're gay, and then we're gonna like make you do
The opposite, or
yes, like very
undo the root.
gender specific chores where the guys are like chopping wood and the girls are vacuuming or whatever. And that's supposed
Making
to fix them, right?
casseroles.
To sum up, I think that interpretation of a gay root or a queer root is a little problematic.
Yes,
It's not
because my mom wore pants at her wedding.
right. That's not why anyone is gay or queer or whatever.
That's a good disclaimer.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
So we're not going down that road. The way that I wanted to construct this subject is, what are better ways to think of your root, like an early sign of your queerness, or when you realize that you were not the same as everyone else around you, your friends.
I like this. I like this framework a lot.
And if there are any like specific events or role models or media figures that played a big role in your queer consciousness, something that you look back on now and you're like, this made too much sense. And why didn't anyone tell me that I was gay?
Could have saved me a lot of time.
Yes, like I would have felt a lot better about myself if somebody would have told me that, you know, it's okay
Yep.
that you like this thing. I will go first. My number one is probably the movie Mulan. I think this is the.
Cheers to
I think
Mulan.
yes.
Yeah,
Cheers
can
to
we all
Mulan.
just take a minute to cheers to Mulan?
Cheers, but I was not a Mulaner.
Right. We recently watched the Mulan cartoon a couple months ago.
We did, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, I can see
Yeah.
how this is.
This impacted your life as a
Yes.
young child.
Yes.
It was a huge movie when I was probably 12. And I feel like a lot of millennial lesbian or queer people identified with Mulan.
98. Mulan.
Okay.
I was
So
in
I was
first
like-
grade in '98, so.
Oh my God.
But I also remember similar feelings, so I mean.
Right. So the main themes that I kind of drew from this was gender doesn't really matter and girls can do what boys can do. Mulan has to hide her gender and who she is to fit in and to do the right thing, like for her family and for her country and whatever.
Right, because there's no brother.
There was no
There was no
son or
brother,
to
so
take on that role, and she didn't want her dad
her
to have
elderly,
to do it.
crippled father was going to go into battle, be called into service
And
to
he
fight in
was,
the
he
war.
was, like, limpy,
He was ready to
wasn't
go.
And
he?
he's like,
Yeah, he
no,
was
I'll
limping.
do it. And so in the middle of the night, Mulan like steals his sword and goes and joins the army.
Can we just pay homage to the moment where she's such a badass and just like cuts her hair with the sword?
Yes.
Like,
Just in one fell swoop.
yes.
Just-
and
It's
her
like
hair is just,
Disney
like-
G.I. Jane. Like,
Yes.
It is.
God, that's just like a
Yes.
boner moment.
It is. I support the boner moment.
Oh, I don't know
Wow.
how to feel about that.
No,
wonder if
it
we'll
makes a
ever
lot of
say boner
sense.
moment again.
Lady
We
boner
will.
moment.
We will be seeing boner moments throughout this show.
I
so-
refuse to say it.
Okay,
I wish
you
I
don't
would have
have
known
to.
that coming in.
Well,
The only thing that I wanted to point out is that Disney really, I think they stumbled here.
I think a
Because-
lot of movies
okay.
in the 90s.
Right. There
did
was a lot of
stumble.
stumbling.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that Mulan's family was only proud of her when she saved all of China, and not that she saved her father from going to war.
Right.
It wasn't that she tried, it's
Right.
that she saved the whole damn country.
So 98, I think
That's prime, like,
you're
figuring
10,
myself
11.
out time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of conscious of the greater world.
Yeah.
You're exploring,
I watched Mulan a lot.
and your parents, did they buy it? Was it a VHS that you...
Here's what's funny. I think that my parents gave me the VHS of Mulan and the CD of Dido.
oh wow!
In
They
my
gave you the
Easter
lesbian
basket.
starter pack for your Easter present.
How did they know that that's what you...
Was
did
it the
you
one that
tell
has
them?
"Thank You" on it?
Yes, of course it is. Did she have
Angel?
another
Is it
album?
Angel? Isn't that the name of
I'm
the album?
sure. That sounds familiar.
Okay, can I ask a question about Mulan?
I would love it if you asked a question.
Did you
Don't
want to
ask
be her or did you want to be with her?
Ooh.
Well, she's a cartoon.
Well,
Well,
What a cop-out.
what
Don't-
if you
it's
were
okay
a
if you
cartoon?
don't know.
Okay, just imagine Alex the cartoon. Do you want to be her or do you want to be with her?
were you
Come on.
fantasizing about her or were you like dressing up as her?
Can I preface this with something?
Of course you
So-
can.
This is a safe space.
Alex
It is a podcast, but
was
go ahead.
also the only girl on a Little League baseball team.
I'm going to bring that up later.
Well, I ruined it. But
I
We'll
Right
edit
now.
that out.
I just
Spoiler
want to
alert.
say
There are
feel
some, like,
this is some context for this question.
yes, there are some overlapping themes between my life and the life of Mulan.
So maybe you,
So you
wanted,
wanted
to
to be
be
her.
her.
I think that's where I land.
Okay. Does everybody else
It's okay
at
if
this
it's
table
both.
want to like just quickly chime in on whether they? Because I don't know, Lindsay. Maybe you don't have to because you didn't resonate with Mulan, but I think Lisa and I both did. Did you want to be
Yeah.
her? Did you want to be with her, Lisa?
I was like more into the like Christina Aguilera music video.
Oh my
Of
Do
the
you remember
Mulan
that?
song.
And she's sitting in like the cherry blossoms. She
Mhm.
sings that the themes.
I
Can
remember.
you give you a
Song.
little like hum of the song?
It's the reflection song.
When will my
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. I don't remember the video.
That was great, honey.
I don't remember the video.
I feel like you had moved on in your musical career probably by this time. You were listening to Tupac. You were
There
not
was
listening to
also some
Christina
Donny
Aguilera.
Osmond. I was very into that soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Donny Osmond sings the fight song, like
Oh,
the Manly
yes.
Man song.
Oh, right.
And then there was like a Stevie Wonder song on that.
And
soundtrack.
hold
the
up.
90s Disney
Let's
movies.
get
Hold
down
on.
to business.
There's
yes.
to defeat
Defeat
the
the Huns.
Huns.
Yeah, the
I was
Huns.
not ready for
There's also a song that's like,
okay with it.
I'll Make You a Man or whatever.
Mr. I'll make a man
Yes!
out of you.
That's the same song.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Honey, thanks for taking on.
Just like banging on those
Yeah,
imaginary
because
drums.
you know we can't get the rights to play clips to these songs, so thank you.
Maybe one day if
That's
you
a great
subscribe
interpretation
to our
of the
Patreon.
Donny Osmond song.
You must be strong as a raging fire.
I'm sorry, but this is what you're gonna have to deal with until you subscribe to our Patreon. And
We only
can
have
afford
2 hours to
license
record.
music from Mulan.
all right.
But yeah, I was really into the music and the soundtrack
So
and the
Okay.
you
music
wanted
videos.
to be with
and
So
Yeah,
less
so
about the...
with or be.
I wanted to be Mulan for sure.
Okay.
That like badass.
The hair
The
thing.
hair thing.
Yeah.
And, like,
apparently had a really
I
Yeah.
So at the time it came out, I was doing baton.
Okay.
Oh, of course you were. I was doing baton.
Performing baton.
Yeah, like I was in parades and stuff, and like
Get out of town,
it was a
Lisa.
thing in California. It was not a thing when I moved here. Like it wasn't even an option.
We don't have parades in Utah.
I didn't know anybody that was doing baton when I
Well,
went to high school.
Yeah, you didn't live in California.
Well, clearly.
But I just kind of felt like Mulan, you know, and she like has the big stick and
Be a man.
she's like training how to fight and
Right.
stuff. I just kind of felt like my
Yeah,
baton
she
was
has
like
the whole
that.
like preparation scene where she is like, I don't know, she just
Shielding
knows this
up
stuff.
and, like,
Yeah, and she just had so much confidence, and she was such a badass, and like
yeah,
she's like, I'm just gonna do it.
and then there's the whole like, we got to find you a husband. No one's gonna like you, you big dummy. And she's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That resonated
Yeah.
with me.
yeah, that's fine. I don't need a husband.
What about you, Kai? Did you want to be her? Or did you want to be with her?
I think I wanted to be with her, to be honest.
yeah, that
I'm sure
sounds
no one
right.
here's surprised.
Yeah, we're not surprised by that.
We're not surprised.
I like strong women.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Anything else to touch on with
How
Mulan?
about Mulan? Are we moving on?
You watched the movie a couple months ago for
Right,
the first time, and
so my Mulan experience was like your "but I'm a cheerleader" experience,
Yeah.
where I
you're an adult.
visited Mulan as an adult, and it just was very, very gay.
That's interesting to watch it the first time as an adult with like
Knowing
a
how
fresh
gay it
perspective.
Yeah.
Well, not knowing anything about it.
Well, I mean, I had obviously heard.
I had talked about it, like,
right.
oh, this is like a piece of me
Gay
as a
history.
child that I can
Gay
look back
history.
on and like, you know,
Right.
identify as something that I haven't seen the live action Mulan yet. It came out like 2 years ago.
We haven't.
I don't want to
watched that
be.
yet.
talked
We've
about
talked
it.
about it. I don't want to
Yeah.
be disappointed. I've heard that it's like kind of meh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let cartoon Mulan simmer in my brain forever.
Yeah,
I
I don't
support
want
that.
my queer hero Mulan to be ruined by some live action lady that's not
Not really
everything I
actually
want her to
queer,
be. Yeah.
right?
So
The other thing that I think is really interesting is that so when I was growing up, we went to the library a lot. We rented a lot of books, and I rented a lot of movies. And I was thinking, when I was doing the show notes for this, about all these like really overtly gay, queer movies that I rented that nobody was just like, hey, why are you renting this?
Did you mean?
Yes,
to?
I sought them out. Like
Okay, because I watched a lot of.
Right.
But
I
it
saw them
wasn't
out.
like I'm
I-
queer. I'm looking
No,
for queer
I-
movies. It was just like you had a
No.
weird like undiscovered
I was just like,
interest
oh,
in
I'm
it.
into this. I
Okay.
gotta watch this.
Okay. So like what, for example, like what films in particular?
One of the first ones that I rented by myself, I was probably like 13. I was living with my dad and my grandparents. I rented Philadelphia.
Oh wow! As a 13-year-old,
It's
a really-
completely inappropriate for someone.
But
my
your
age.
parents weren't. Your
this-
dad and
No,
grandparents
he
weren't
was-
monitoring. It was
No.
fine. You could watch it, and it was.
I could
fine.
watch whatever I
Is this
wanted.
Pre-internet? How did you know of its existence?
I just came across it at the library.
Did you just read the back and you're
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
oh.
yes, this
I
is
wanna
something
learn
I want to
all of
watch.
that.
And yeah, and I'm like, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, AIDS. These are all things I want to watch.
Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, AIDS.
Okay.
It
That's
was
mature of you.
it was very like heavy, and I remember just being like, wow, this is very heavy subject
is-
material for a
Especially for a
13-year-old.
13-year-old.
I also rented Boys Don't Cry.
Oh, how old were you when you rented that?
13, 14.
Dude, I still.
And so I was just devastated
Ugh.
all the time.
I still like. I've seen that movie twice, and I don't know that I will ever have like the emotional capacity to ever watch it again.
Especially
It's
now
such a
that you
devastating
can
movie.
like
fully
visual,
relate.
like you understand.
I think now, like And I don't know, maybe it's a devastating movie to anybody that watches it, but I think now I've had like some retrospect on why it was so devastating to me the first couple times that I saw it, because it's just like absolutely gut-wrenching.
Yes.
But so Hilary Swank is just a star.
Yes.
In that movie. Like, it's just absolutely incredible and like breathtaking, but just horrible.
Yes. We watched Disclosure like a couple months ago, and it had scenes from that because it talked about it, and I was just like, oh shit. And I
It's like PTSD.
remembered, I'm like, oh my God, I remember how upset I was.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did was I rented Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was 13, and I knew that it was too like risque to watch at my grandparents' house.
So you waited till
Did
no
you
one was
sneak
So-
to watch it?
What I did is I rented it right before I got on a plane to go to Portland to
Oh.
visit my aunt,
Clever.
and I watched it in Portland with her.
And she was cool with watching it with you.
She was so cool with it. She provided wine coolers.
Wow, at
Hey.
13?
Yes.
Go Aunt.
Damn.
Go Aunt.
And I got back and I owed probably $25 in late fees for this DVD.
You know what I find interesting is that the library had no qualms.
No,
about
they were like,
renting
take it,
anything.
go.
Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch this film.
Get some
Expand your
culture.
horizons.
Yes. I love the library.
I do too.
For that
I
reason.
still love the library. They have a. I don't know. I feel like I've just discovered how great the library can be in my adult years.
Well, you were forced to use the library before, right?
Yeah, and now
Where
I'm
now
like,
it's a
oh, I
choice.
can
Yeah.
just like go borrow this book. And fun fact with me in the library, every damn time I rent a book from the library, I get charged a like deterioration fee or whatever
What?
they call it,
It's
like
not called
a
that.
damage
Damage
fee,
fee.
because I always read my books in the bath. And my
the pages
hands are
wrinkled.
always sweaty no matter what, and especially when I'm in the bath. And so where I'm holding it in its spine, whether it's a hardback or a paperback, there's always a little bit of a warpy happening because I always have sweaty hands and I always
No.
have to pay a damage fee.
You have to change your behavior right now.
You should wear gloves.
No,
No,
this is
you-
how
no.
libraries survive.
This is what
ties
happens.
in
My
bathtubs.
damage
Yes.
fees.
Yes.
You put the book in a Ziploc bag.
How do I turn the pages?
You have little tongs, and you turn the page from the top.
That sounds terrible.
Well,
This
I'm
is-
just going to pay my $5 damage fees because I am not
$5?
going to turn the page with tongs. At least I didn't have to buy the book. At least I got to rent it for
Honey,
free. And then I
You
paid a
willingly
$5
accepted
damage fee.
$100 fee today.
God, we're not talking about this.
I'm just saying, you cannot engineer a solution for Kai for
That
a
requires
$5
tongs
fee.
and a Ziploc bag.
This isn't happening.
All right, do whatever you got to do to read your books in the bath.
They just always get sweaty. I always have sweaty paws.
That's fine. The other TV show that I really loved was Will and Grace, and I watched it every single week, and I would schedule Thursdays off so that I could watch the new episode of Will and Grace. This was when I was 16.
So your
I
three
scheduled it
jobs
off
when
of-
you were 16?
Yes, my 3 jobs. Like Lindsay mentioned at the beginning of this whole blurb, I played baseball as a youngster. The first year I played, there were some other gals on my team. I really liked them for some reason.
For some odd reason.
We grew apart.
For some odd reason.
And then when I aged out of Little League, my mom was like, okay, well, we'll put you in softball now. And I was like,
But the ball's
I'd
bigger.
rather go play baseball in the other league, like where you can be older. And she's like, no, you have to play softball.
But they would have allowed girls to play on the boys.
Yes. Well, my mom signed me up for softball, and I refused to play.
So what did you think of me as a softball player
Well-
when you met me?
Softball gals are great.
Okay.
Softball
It's not
gals
for
are
me.
great.
It's not for me, and I wanted to play baseball, and
What do you like about the softball gals?
it's probably like the ribbons in your hair.
Well, I didn't have any
There's
ribbons.
always ribbons for some reason.
The pants. It's the
The
pants.
white pants. Yeah, it's the pants.
All right, so that's all I have. Does anyone else want to talk about their gay root, their queer root?
I'll go. Okay, I have a visual aid for mine. The year was 1993.
Lisa was 3 years old.
Oh, that's nice.
You're welcome.
We're like 7, 8. How old were
Lisa
you?
I
was
was
3
7. I was
years
in
old.
2nd grade. I begged my mom to let me get a perm. I wanted like big curly
Do
hair.
you know why you wanted curly hair?
I don't.
Was there somebody on TV? Or...
There had to have been.
But you don't know who it was.
It was probably like Saved by the Bell. I'm thinking maybe
Oh
like
my
Jessie
God.
from Saved by the Bell.
Jessie!
I'm sure that had something to do with it. We came up to Utah. We were living in California at the time. We came to Utah for a family vacation in the summer. And my grandpa is a barber. And my mom casually mentioned that I want a perm.
To her
And
dad.
my grandpa was not going to have it. I remember him saying, "You're not going to let her ruin her beautiful hair with chemicals." Her and my sisters went out for the day, and I was hanging out with my grandpa. And she came home, and this is what my grandpa had done to my hair.
Oh my God.
Lisa.
Like, just so that you couldn't get it permed?
Yes.
Oh no.
So can you describe to the group what we're seeing here?
Yeah.
So my hair had been
That's like a full bowl cut.
a
It
full...
was literally like a...
So my hair had been about down to my belly button in kindergarten, and then it was about shoulder length, kind of bobbed before this. And this is a straight up bowl cut. My hair is above my ears. It's kind of like mushroom cap.
A little mushroomy.
First of all, I remember my mom being livid. But this was like a very defining point in my childhood. This photo will be on our Patreon.
Turned into a lesbian.
You just
Right, like,
with
it
against
was
your
like
own will. You just
a magic
turned into a
wand.
lesbian.
Was waved above my head, and then like there's this little baby dyke.
Oh no.
That's
How do you
just-
think Gramps feels about that?
Well, he's not with us anymore, so I
He
can't.
probably
ask
felt
him.
fine about it. He's like, "Here, you wanted something to do with your hair? Here."
I don't remember being mad about it. He was a great grandfather. He must have talked me
I'm sure
into
he made
it.
you feel so cute. Like, oh, this is such a great.
Right.
look
This
for
is
you.
a better option.
This is better
Do
for
you
you.
feel like you were sporty?
no.
Do you feel
Was it
like
just
he
like-
was trying to?
I was the kid that like if a brick was gonna fall from the sky, it was gonna land on me.
Okay.
I was like the most accident
No
prone
sporty.
weirdo.
Chicken Little.
There was no way for him to
Chicken
know.
Little.
small.
There was no way for him to know you were queer. So it wasn't like he was trying to match your outsides with your insides.
No, he was like a Mormon bishop. I don't think he had any sort of
Maybe
queer.
he had a
queer
side. We don't
gaydar.
know. Yeah, maybe he had good
Maybe.
gaydar.
Maybe.
So
but
do you take this as a positive or a negative? Because you wanted a perm. You
Right.
wanted
Yes.
agency over your own hair, and then you were left alone with your grandfather who just cut it into a bowl cut.
right.
Which I guess you agreed to, but also you
As
were
an
a very
8-year-old.
tiny child.
If we want to get really deep, I feel like
Yes, we do.
maybe this is like you think you want something, but actually
Here's
you
what
want
is gonna make you
something
happy.
different.
Okay, so queer culture is fucking with your hair all the time.
All the time.
That's true. That's true.
Not true for me.
Well, I have
The
news.
exception.
I'm not queer.
We've
No.
fucked with your
Should
hair
I leave?
multiple
You-
times
you have softball
since we've
buns all the
known
time.
you.
Yeah.
And you have an
That-
undercut that
yes.
my wife has given you during drunken shenanigans. We fucked with your hair.
I I think for a long time I saw that as a very negative experience.
Yeah.
And now I think about it in a completely different way.
Like what?
Maybe that was like this power moment of like, no fucking kids my age had a haircut like that. Like that was
Especially girls. That was a boy haircut
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like not a thing.
Couldn't
I
be
was
the only thing.
like, that photo is from back to school night for 2nd grade.
Wow.
And there's like no way that that was like a,
Did anyone give you like negative comments at school?
I don't remember.
You weren't bullied. I feel like you'd remember.
No.
I don't
if you
feel
were-
like that's a bully hair. I mean, I don't know what 2nd graders do, but it's cute, but I can tell it's a bowl cut.
Right. Well, and it's like a, I'm using it as an adult as like, that was my first lesbian power haircut.
Well,
Yeah.
your hair's still short.
Right.
You still
It's
have
been
a
long
lesbian power haircut.
Right. It's kind of my,
It's defined you in a
yeah,
way.
it's kind of my thing.
So are you saying that that's your root?
Yeah, I feel like that
That
was like,
haircut's your
that
root?
haircut is my
Wow.
root.
I respect that.
What's your grandpa's name?
Owen.
Good on you, Owen.
Props, Owen.
Oh my God, he said that all the time. Good on ya.
Honey.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers
Cheers
to
to
Owen.
Owen.
That.
Thanks, Owen.
Cheers
Thanks,
to Owen.
Gramps. Miss you.
Great.
I have one other thing that's similar
Okay.
to your first thing,
Mhm.
Alex. The Little Mermaid.
Somehow I knew that you were going to bring up the little.
I watched
Oh, no,
that
see.
movie like almost every day.
That's too much. That's too many times.
It's not too many times. I identified with that movie for some reason so much, and it's so fucking
It's like,
gay.
I want to
So-
be like them, right? I want to walk
Like the people do.
like the people do.
Here, I
Ariel's
would like
different.
to pose the
Right.
question: is Ariel as a human queer, or is Ariel as a mermaid queer? Because she didn't fit in as a human.
She didn't fit in either place.
She didn't fit in the ocean.
So is she queer on both counts? Because she's just kind of not
Is
the norm.
Ariel bisexual?
I love how Prince Eric is just like the most like just passe side character.
I
that
couldn't
no one
even
really
think of a
cares
single
about.
thing that Prince Eric was in that movie.
Right, because
He's just the guy in the white blazer.
He's just the guy who like is there, but
Walks
there's
on the beach.
yeah, there's just I love that every other character is more important than the prince. I love that.
I feel like the fish and the crustaceans had a bigger role in that movie.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, the fish and the crustaceans were queer.
oh, Sebastian?
Yes!
Hell
Sebastian's
yeah, he was
the
a gay
queerest of
boy.
the queer.
Yeah.
I like how when he walked around, he was clicking all the time.
Just
I don't like that.
I like that.
Well,
Mm.
and Ursula, she
Oh,
is just
yeah.
like a gay
God.
icon.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
now I just want an Ursula chest tattoo.
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, you
Tentacles
don't.
all across your boobs.
it's just like her
Christ,
face right here is a
Christ.
chest piece,
With
and
her,
then her
like-
tentacles are just like
It's kind of
surrounding.
like your hair,
Oh
Lisa.
my
Oh my
God.
god! What a breakthrough.
But really, like, how many drag queens have done Ursula?
Oh, I'm sure more than a dozen.
We could count on all of our hands.
More than that, I
Okay.
guarantee.
Okay.
This makes me think of something, though. Can I just say very quickly?
Yes.
In first grade, we did an outdoor. So, you know, in elementary school, you do like sing-songy performances for your parents.
Yeah.
So we did a Little Mermaid under the sea. And we did it outside on the playground, like on the blacktop. And there was a lot of
That's nice.
A little scuba
holding
move.
your nose
Yep.
and doing like a little. So that was a huge part of. I watched The Little Mermaid a lot too, so I totally identify with that feeling of Ariel
I'm
wanting
glad.
to be part of your.
I would like to rewatch this as an adult because it's been a really long
I
time.
would love for you to. Kiss the Girl. That song.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I sing that
Okay.
song all the time, and I just like.
And people
It was
are
a
like,
good
"Oh,
song.
this is
It's a great
normal. Lisa
song.
can sing 'Kiss the Girl.'"
Right. And yeah, Part of Your World. That's like every song in it is just
Right.
so gay.
Can we get some more 90s Disney, please?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and can we talk about Vanessa?
Oh,
Oh yeah, the bitch. She's a bitch, right?
right.
Yeah, she's a real bitch, but
Okay.
like she was a hot bitch.
Oh.
Oh, so
No? Am I the only one? That...
I mean, I guess I need to look up Vanessa. I mean,
She had
So
the
it's
red
who-
hair, right?
No, she has the black hair.
Oh.
She's,
Oh, right.
She's who Ursula transforms into with like
Oh, with the little
Ariel's
shell.
voice. Yeah, the shell necklace. So she has the voice and she tries to like
Oh,
woo
right.
Prince Eric.
Right.
The Little Mermaid. Your power lesbian haircut.
Oh.
All right.
Those
Your
are my
root.
roots.
Okay.
Who's next?
I've got 3 things to say. The first one is Sherry from Lamb Chop.
Oh, yes.
No,
Oh,
do you
yes.
do you agree with this? We talked about this last night, and I was like, no.
Oh, I love
Sherry.
Sherry from
I
Lamb
do
Chop.
too.
Sherry's like a
I-
grandma
She
figure.
she was like
It wasn't like
grandma's next door neighbor that gets along really well
with everyone and
with everyone, and she was
made me
like the
feel
gal,
safe
Mr.
and
Rogers.
cozy and
Okay, that's
warm.
nice.
She was like the gal, Mr. Rogers.
She was the gal, Mr.
I
Rogers.
love Sherry.
So
from
did
Lamb
you want
Chop.
to be Sherry or did you want to be with Sherry?
You wanted to be comforted by Sherry.
I wanted to be comforted.
You
by
wanted her to, like,
Sherry.
pat
I
your
wanted her to
shoulder.
tell me
Everything's
my mom.
okay. Yes.
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 Sherry!
All right, Sherry, you're going on.
Okay, so Sherry
That's a cute
from
little
Lamb
guy.
Chop,
I haven't seen that.
Wonderful.
That was definitely a big one. The second one, I have a visual aid to share with the group. And it is a 2-parted thing. When I was 8 years old, my dad made me a tool bench because that's what I asked for Christmas. And it was like legit. Like it was like a full-size tool bench with the little pegboard on the back. And he bought me all the pegs. And then like for Christmas, they gave me the tool bench and all the
Like
little-
child-sized tools.
Yes, but like real tools. They
Wow.
weren't like Fisher
Fisher-Price.
Price. Like they were like small. Like I remember I had a pink tool set with like a mini like ladies pink hammer and
Wait,
ladies pink
sure.
pliers and all that. But like, and then for my birthday that year, so Christmas, obviously December. And then for my 9th birthday, I asked for a tool belt. Which, funny story about that, my friend Gil gave me a tool belt for my 29th birthday, which is interesting now as I was looking this all up 20 years later, literally,
20
to
years.
a dot.
Does it make you feel like you're living right?
Yes, it makes me feel like I'm living right. I got a tool belt for my 9th birthday, and I got a tool belt for my 29th birthday. And here is the photo of me with my tool belt on my
Wow.
9th birthday.
Kai is in
That
a
is
one-piece
Perfectly
swimming
Kai.
suit,
Tie-dye.
standing on one of those rickety-ass plastic chairs. I am very surprised it's holding up, actually. I mean, like, that's dangerous.
Notice my glove and briefcase.
Right.
One glove. Only one.
We
and
don't want to
it
get your
looks like
hand
a-
dirty.
It looks like a plastic, like, doctor's glove. I'm
Holding.
not...
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
It is. It is.
So, and you have a Groucho Marx
Glasses, nose.
glasses nose costume on.
Can I ask what's in the briefcase?
Probably Monopoly money.
Okay.
I mean,
That makes
couldn't
sense.
tell
Not
ya.
your tools, because your tools are in the
Because the
belt.
tools are all in the belt, you know. So
The briefcase was just to be extra
official,
Right.
a business. I'm a
A business
businessman, and
mechanic.
I'm here
Right.
to.
I'm here to
fix
I'm
some
here
shit
to-
with my briefcase.
in my one-piece
Yeah.
swimsuit with no shoes on, which seems very dangerous,
Yeah.
I might add.
That's
Yes.
a real Kai thing.
And
though.
then you can
Swimsuit
see
and
a real
Yeah.
Kai thing to do.
Yeah.
someone
Again.
here in the background just
Picking their
gurping.
nose or
Yeah,
whatever.
for
Picking
real.
their nose. You
Yep.
can see this photo on our Patreon.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
It's definitely paid
So you're-
material.
Definitely.
You really brought it back together between tool belts. You lived a whole life between tool belts.
you know, I didn't even realize that until we just sat down right here that it was literally 20 years later. I got another tool belt for my 29th birthday. And yeah, a lot of life has happened between my 9th birthday
A lot of
and now
queer
my
life.
30th birthday. A lot of queer life has happened between those 20 years.
And you still just want a tool belt.
And I still just want a tool belt. And I got one for my birthday last year, so it's great. My last thing that I want to share is about the same time. I was about 9 years old, I think. And my brother Jeremy was 16, 17. So he's in the midst of high school, you know, and he has this cool Tacoma with Britney Spears stickers all over it. And
Hold
his
on.
cool friends.
He has cool Britney Spears stickers on his Tacoma.
Yeah, like when my brother
As a
was
16
yeah, when my brother was 16 in high school, it was like Britney was like hot shit. Like she was so hot, so it was like a cool thing for a teenage
Like
boy to
an
have. Like,
equivalent of like a Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's not like a poster in your
But
room.
that's-
It's
yeah,
just
that's
no,
on
it
your
was like a
Tacoma.
cool,
Different.
like sexy sticker of Britney
Well, to
Spears.
you it was cool.
Well, my brother was
Go
cool
on,
in high
go
school,
on.
and also I'm sorry, but this is leading to another side note that I was very upset about this because I remember my brother had his Britney Spears stickers on his truck when he was 16, and my parents were just like, ha, 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 boys will be boys. And then when I was around that age, I had the Rolling Stone poster of Gwen Stefani. If anyone remembers that image. Yes,
Here it is.
That's that is it. I had that poster on my bedroom wall when I was around 16.
Inappropriate.
Yep, it was because I came home from school one day and it was covered. It wasn't torn down. It was her midriff and belly were covered by
She's
some
not
other shit.
modest.
Well, it's literally a bra and a hoodie.
Well,
But she
great.
also has
Of
abs.
course. She's hot
Right.
as fuck in that. I mean, whatever.
Absolutely. But I'm sure that's what your
Good for
parents
you,
were like.
Blake
Those
Shelton.
are her
You would've never known."
underwear.
If
Yeah.
you want the poster, it's $6.99 on eBay.
Honey, can we hang that poster in our home?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. So, anyway, I
Where
got
are you gonna-
sidetracked by
where are you gonna
Gwen
hang it?
Stefani. But my brother Jeremy, who had the Britney Spears truck, he had a gal pal who was not his girlfriend. He hung out with like a pack of 5 guys, and there was this one gal that hung out with them, and her name was Savannah. And I was in love with Savannah.
And you were like 9?
I was 9 years old.
Okay.
And
You realize now.
yes, but I would like if I knew Savannah was coming over. Like, I was always an early bedtime person. I love sleeping, and nothing's changed. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go to bed, and I was that way when I was a kid. Like, I don't care what's going on. I don't care if everybody's watching a movie. Like, I just want to go be cozy in my bed. But if I knew Savannah was going to be over, I'd just meander on down to the kitchen.
In your cutest pajamas.
Yeah, make myself
In your
a
nightgown.
snack. Yeah.
Queer
So,
culture is caring
Did
about
we
Britney
get to all
Spears.
3 of your things?
Yep. Savannah, my tool belt, and Sherry from Lamb Chop.
Got it.
We got
Love
'em all.
Sherry.
Got them all. Lindsay?
I thought I had settled on it a few times. And then at 5:45 a.m. this morning, when I couldn't sleep, I re-realized what it is. But I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start with the things that I thought it was.
Okay.
Oh, and you're going to lead up to
and
the
lead up
true
to the
root.
5:45 this morning realization.
Yeah. I've always been told that as a very young person, and I imagine that means like maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, that I was very into Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like super vivid memories, but when I listen to Tina Turner, it like energizes
It flips the
like a
switch.
very core part of me that makes me feel very happy. So I feel like that's probably true. She has a lot of qualities that I think appeal to the queer community in general, even though she doesn't identify that way. I think
we
that
know of. I don't know.
she has an appeal.
Right. But she very much like
Yes.
has been open and like welcoming of her like LGBTQ plus fans. Like she's very much like
Right.
accepted that she's kind of an icon in that arena.
Well, and she lives in like Europe now.
Yeah, Sweden, right?
Something
Isn't it
like
Sweden
that.
or Finland?
Of course, she'd be open to that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably Sweden.
I think it is
Or
Sweden.
Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland is where the
Either
chocolates
way,
are
good
and the
for
Alps.
her.
Okay.
She wanted
She's
to.
not a skier.
She
She's
wanted
not a
to.
skier. Tina's not.
She's top heavy.
She is. She's top.
Have you? No. Have you seen her legs? Come on. Have
She
y'all
has really
never?
strong legs.
She has strong
She
legs.
lives in
seen 'em?
Switzerland, so she
Oh,
is
fuck.
skiing.
God damn it, Lisa.
You can't
So
help but
sorry.
see her legs. That's part of her
Right.
whole look.
Yes.
Anyways.
Agreed.
So I've been told this about myself.
That you have always
I
sort of
feel
been
this
obsessed
about
with
myself as an adult.
But you don't have any like.
But I don't
Frontal
know that
lobe
No,
memories.
I don't know that I have any like real associations in that way. But when you think about Tina, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of queer things. There's a lot of like different things about Tina.
Mm-hmm. So
She's
like
a
when we
powerful
watched that
woman.
documentary about
Yeah.
her all together that's on HBO, it very much like paid homage to her LGBTQ plus fans and like how she respects the support. Like I feel like it is a two-way street. Like I don't feel like it's just like we've adopted her anthems. I feel like she's like in support
Like,
of
take
us adopting
this
her anthems.
and
Yes.
use
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Now
think-
I just
yeah.
have private dancers stuck in my head.
Oh my god.
It's a great song.
I think maybe a part of that early part of my life that may have had an impact was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh my god, yes!
I'm
Pee-wee's
sorry,
Playhouse
I'm
or Pee-wee's
sorry
Big
I
Adventure?
laughed.
Pee Wee's Playhouse
I just
and
wasn't
Pee Wee's.
expecting
Oh my god, I feel like
I-
you saying
I
that
have
just
no-
triggered like a flow of memories. Pee-wee's Playhouse was my jam.
I had a if I had a Barbie Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Oh my god, we could have been best friends.
Yeah,
Because I had all the little toys, like his like wingback chair. I had all the little toys.
Wasn't he a creeper?
No, he was not a creeper. No, he was in a porn movie theater.
That's fine. I
Doing
have no problem with
porn theater
pornography. I have
things.
no problem with pornography.
And the cops like decided that since he was famous, he couldn't do porn
Porn.
movie,
Okay,
like
fair
porn
enough.
theater
Fair
things.
enough. I'm glad you knew the backstory
that's
because I did
unfair.
not.
Yes,
I
it's
have
very
no problem
unfair,
with
and he was just
pornography.
being a human person in a porn theater,
And just got Yeah.
railroaded.
fucked with.
got it. I'm glad to know the backstory on that.
So I feel like Pee Wee may have a little bit of an influence on my view of what a man is and isn't. And
My.
I mean, no, seriously though.
That's
No, but
interesting.
that is-
That's
I've
really
never watched
interesting.
it, so I don't know.
He plays a very effeminate, sort of like
Silly.
He does.
androgynous
Yes,
dude.
Both
like,
of those, effeminate and androgynous, are both very good descriptor words for Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
And his name's Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
That's also a description.
And his voice is so
And it's like
particular.
soft
like
and
giggly.
high pitched, lots of
high-pitched,
giggles.
giggly, yeah.
Yeah.
That like little laugh he does.
Can you
know,
do
like,
it, Lisa?
I thought about it and then I knew it wasn't gonna
I
be
don't
good.
think.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
and then him dancing on the bar. Dun, dun,
Mhm.
dun, dun, dun,
With the
dun,
platform
dun, dun,
shoes.
dun, dun.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
My real like coming out route was probably T-Boz from TLC.
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
Let me pull up the picture.
Yep. Yep.
We should have seen
If
that
we
coming
need
from
a-
Yeah, we all should have seen that coming from a
How
mile
many
away.
drunken dance party nights have we talked about
T-Boz.
T-Boz?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not really a surprise.
So what's up with T-Boz these days, you know?
I don't.
Oh, hey, girl.
Damn.
All right, so tell us about her.
Yeah,
Like,
tell us
what was it about her?
T-Boz.
Women back then could like dress tomboy and it wasn't gay. It was just
90s
the
fashion?
style.
Yes.
90s
Those
fashion
baggy
was super,
pants.
like, loose and...
Yes.
Mm.
Her
Mhm.
hair in this photo, though, is
Oh no, but yeah,
that's
I mean
the photo.
she's-
That's
this
the
is
that's the
yes.
look.
This
Yeah.
is
This
Yeah.
photo will be
Yeah.
on our Patreon and
Clearly-
our Instagram.
What song?
Wow.
What was the famous song that we?
so creep
Yeah.
in the satin.
Keep it on the
The
down
satin
low.
pajamas, the
Pajamas.
button up.
Right.
But
and her
also-
top's all
And there's, like,
flowing.
wind
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
blowing the-
But also,
Send
like,
around.
what about your friends when they're like in like the dorm, like college dorms, and they're wearing like big baggy pants and they're trying to be like tough? Like that was the thing though in the 90s. I feel like women were trying to be tough.
Yeah.
Um,
And be seen
I like
as
tough
something
women.
other than just like
We know.
sexual specimens.
yes.
In the 90s seems like it was like
You
Kind of
were
a take
you were
back
like wearing
the-
a spaghetti strap little thing.
Yeah,
and
you were
weighed
either the
85
big-ass
pounds.
pants.
you were either the
Or
Spice Girls or you were TLC.
Right.
mhm.
Yeah. You chose
And they're
you
wearing
chose a lane.
boys' boxer shorts that are hanging out of their baggy pants and like
Right. I mean,
As was the style at the
That
time.
Yeah,
gave me
yeah.
permission.
If your parents are like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "No, TLC.
90s fashion.
It's 90s fashion. Look at these gals." And then they're
Yeah.
like,
look at
"Okay,
these nice gals.
yeah, they're wholesome."
when it comes to do I want to be T-Boz or do I want to be with
This is a
T-Boz?
great question.
Oh yeah, that's trick. That's trick.
That's a 50-50, isn't it?
That's a 50-50.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. I don't know if I.
But
could pick
isn't that
either way.
lesbians?
Yeah, I mean,
Don't you just like sort of eventually become the same person? And like
I am so called out right now.
yeah. Isn't that just kind of how it goes? I mean, history and stereotypes, historical stereotypes want you to believe that there's like a butch and a femme lesbian, but I don't think that's really true necessarily.
I feel like some relationships defy that, especially, but I feel like some are very like
I feel like
butch and femme.
80% of lesbian relationships, they're almost the same person.
Well, I
Maybe
feel
the
like
lesbians you know.
Yeah, I'm interested in this because I'm like evaluating the lesbian couples that I know. And like when I identified as a lesbian, I was very much like I'm a butch and I want to be with like a girly girl and like I'm all of my friends other than you two, but like all of my like other lesbian couple friends are very like
It's clear that
left or right, like very much like on one side, and then when things start to deteriorate, it's because they got too close to the middle.
so you think it's a problem?
I don't think it's a problem because obviously it's not a problem for you guys, but I'm just
think
saying.
everyone's different. I don't think
I do.
you
I
can
think
just
everyone's
put it in a
different. I think
box.
it's like, yeah, you can't box it up, but it's
But
very
you
interesting to me,
also-
nevertheless.
I feel like maybe you're just drawing on friends and friends' relationships from when everyone's like 22.
Sure.
And
yeah, sure.
You know, those relationships.
They haven't really matured into like adult relationships. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Because a lot of them never made it into adult relationships.
But it's interesting when you come out, you're taught your whole life, if you like a man, it's because you're attracted to them, and if you like a woman, it's because you want to be like them. But if you are gay or queer or anything outside of a straight person, that suddenly is not the case anymore. Because if you see another girl and you like her, is it because you want to be like her or you want to be with her?
You just want to be friends with it. You're best friends.
Yeah. Do you want...
Roommates.
But like...
Let's be roommates.
It's a completely different realm that straight people don't have to deal with, because it's literally those two things. Yeah. So once you're in this new world, it's like opens up the whole world of where do I go?
I think I'm going to go on record and say I wanted to be with T-Boz.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I respect you. I respect you for that.
Here we go.
I think we had a good variety of like perspectives on Root, but we would love to hear from all of you what your Root is.
I would love to read people's...
Some Root stories.
Just like a little synopsis. The other thing we wanted to do was just shout out...
Booze and Who's.
Booze and Who's. Bad people and good people.
Booze.
And Who's.
Booze and Who's. Here's our boo. Corporations. Large corporations. It's June, and they've all changed their Twitter icons to rainbow whatevers of their own logos.
Right.
Well, they're quietly donating to...
Yeah. Take money from the queers in June, and then fuck them over the other 11 months of the year. 11 months
of the year, yep.
And don't give a shit about anything.
Do we have examples? Because
I feel like it's like
I swear to God, every
company,
bank
every
in the world,
banking institution, every department store in the world,
every like video game company.
Yep.
The problem is that queer and gay like support organizations need money, and here's AT&T with $1,000 for your float, but they have to put their name on it.
Right.
And so then it becomes the AT&T Pride float, and you think that AT&T is so fucking cool.
Boo, do your research.
So boo is, don't get so fucking jazzed when someone has a rainbow icon.
Somebody changes their Instagram profile pic
and says Happy Pride Month.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care about you.
Nope.
That wraps up the boo.
The boo.
Here's the who. Kai, would you like to take over?
Well, my personal who this week is that Vinyl Me Please, which is a pretty large vinyl subscription club in the U.S., decided to do a shout out of queer owned record stores and record labels, and they shouted out our company as like less than 10 record stores, and they shouted out ours in Little Ogden, Utah, Lavender Vinyl. So that's my who of the week.
We want to say good job and huzzah and 3 cheers to Vinyl Me Please.
Yep, me too.
They took our money.
I've been subscribed
every
to
month.
Vinyl Me Please for way too long.
I think they're doing good things.
Yeah.
3 cheers.
3 cheers to Vinyl Me Please.
Hip hip hooray.
Hip hip hooray.
Hooray.
Cheers. Do you want to take the last who?
So I do actually, and it's a little bit of a sad who, but it's an overdue who.
Overdue who?
And maybe this is a little bit leading into our next episode. In 2016, I believe it was June 12th, a disturbed individual went into a gay club and decided to open fire. And I remember watching the news the next day and I was completely beside myself and upset because gay bars and gay clubs have been a haven for marginalized people for a very long time. And for me, personally, I found myself and my people in those kinds of places. And to imagine that kind of terror in a place where you come to feel accepted and safe was beyond what I could imagine. So the who is to Biden declaring that the Pulse nightclub will be a national monument. It deserves every bit of that recognition, in my opinion.
So 3 cheers to President Biden and his administration for recognizing the horrible mass shooting down in Florida. I hate to end on a super sad note, but it is a very recent thing that has happened.
And it's a real thing.
And it's a real thing.
That would have never been recognized in the previous administration. So I'm glad that Biden didn't forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 cheers to President Biden.
Grandpa Biden.
Grandpa
Joe.
Biden. Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe did pretty
Cheers.
good. He's done okay. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having us.
I hope we do another one.
Music by Cop Kid.
Art.
Art by
Debbie Dixon.
Debbie Dixon. Shout out to Debbie. You can find us on our Instagram at Toasted Lavender Podcast. Find us on our Patreon, also at Toasted Lavender Podcast. And find us wherever you find your podcasts.
And we're just a bunch of queer people.
Bebopping.
Cheers.
And cheers. We'll see you next week. Bye.
We can include the picture of me holding an armadillo.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Yes,
we will.
we should
Perfect.
include that.
Apparently
disgusting.
This is the armadillo. It's disgusting. I did it. It's disgusting.
It's so
Are they scaly?
Lindsay, you're really
Kind of.
far away from your mic. I don't know.
Sorry.
And you have to
I'm
hold them
doing-
right by
I'm
the
doing
tail
a lean-
root. Like,
The tail
Right,
Right
root?
by their butt.
yeah.
The
Just like-
tail root.
That's what they said.
Have you ever seen the diagrams at the vet's office where it's like, here's the tail root?
No, but I feel like this goes perfectly with our gay roots.
Yes.
Here's the tail root. Hold them by their gate root.
Yes,
told
they're
you.
like, hold it right up there.
Hold them by their root.
Listen, she had gloves on. Don't worry. Like
I
big
had a
leather
huge,
gloves.
like up to my shoulders.
Yes.
Where were
Case
you?
something-
San Antonio.
Antonio.
Texas?
Tonio.
Well, that's where this armadillo here was brewed, was in Texas.
Never again.